As temperatures drop, Calgarians bundle up.
Now I've got a woolly jumper on and gloves and a nice thick scarf and a woolly hat.
But will this cold snap be sticking around for Christmas? Plus, police searching for a suspect after 2 women are sexually assaulted. And in the spirit of giving,
firefighters are here to help, and it's a great opportunity for us to give back to Calgarians.
Calgary firefighters ensuring thousands of kids get a gift this Christmas.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Hannah Lapine.
Good afternoon. It is well below normal temperatures for this time of year in Calgary, and the cold can increase the risk of frostbite. But there is a shift on the way. Jacqueline Wilson is covering this story for us today. Jackie, we're going to see a big swing in temperatures this week.
Yes, Anna. We certainly are going to see a bit of a roller coaster in Calgary this week, and you might be used to it, you might not be. So those 2 warm-ups, we're expecting a slight warm-up tomorrow and then a big one coming up on Sunday. And you know, for a lot of people, they might like that reprieve, but my goodness, for migraine sufferers, they could be really hurting this week. I spoke to the Migraine Society today, and they said that shift in barometric pressure can really make Calgarians suffer. So I feel you if you are one of those migraine sufferers, but this cold weather can also have some other health impacts.
Normally at this time of year, it's around -2 degrees Celsius as a daytime high, according to Environment and Climate Change Canada. That's a far cry from what's happening right now, with a high around -20 and wind chill making it feel more like -32, and that comes with the risk of frostbite.
Any exposed skin could undergo some type of frostbite or early stages of frostbite, usually within minutes here. Loria
suggests covering up exposed skin as much as possible and to find places to warm up frequently. That'll also help with hypothermia.
Any stumbling, mumbling, fumbling, acting inappropriate or incoherent could be some potentially early signs, and again, those need to be treated quite quickly by going into a warm area.
It's something the city has to consider with their workers.
The cold weather doesn't impact our infrastructure that much. What impacts us the most with the cold weather is our staff being able to be out there, and we have processes for our staff to stay warm and give them opportunities to stay safe and ensure that they can be out there working for the public.
Many who were walking in downtown say they have their own ways of staying warm.
I wear mucklucks, I wear thermal leggings. I'm from Ontario, so we're used to the cold, and keep moving.
Probably a thermal vest is probably a start, and now I've got a woolly jumper on and gloves and a nice thick scarf and a woolly hat.
Well, I actually just bought some thermals, lots of layering, cold weather boots, mittens, hats, everything.
Those new thermals might not be needed for long. The forecast is showing a massive warm-up on Sunday. Jacqueline Wilson, CTV News, Calgary.
All right, Jody Hughes joins us now. Jody, it's cold. Is it sticking around for Christmas?
Well, we'll have less pleasant weather, I'll say that, for Christmas. But if you're hoping to sort of put this in perspective and not feel as bad, the cold temperature, the coldest spot in Canada so far today happened in the Yukon, and it was -52, and that was the ambient temperature. That's without the wind chill. Let's take a look at our current value, -18 right now in Calgary. Your 24-hour forecast brought to you by Fifth Avenue Volkswagen, family-owned, community-driven. Discover more at Fifth Avenue Volkswagen. And we will see wind chill values making it feel like -30 for the overnight period, and then starting to warm up for tomorrow. But it's cold enough that, as Jackie was saying, it's dangerous. We have a very large area covered by that yellow level extreme cold warning across Canada, and including into Alberta, Saskatchewan, BC, the territories, and then into central Alberta. We're looking at a special weather statement because following this cold, we will have a warm up, but it's going to be another wave of precipitation. So a little bit of everything this week.
Okay, thanks, Jody. Sunshine Village is investigating a fall off a chairlift. A spokesperson says an 18-year-old woman fell late yesterday afternoon and was transported to hospital in stable condition. The resort says it's exceptionally uncommon for someone to fall from a lift, and the investigation continues into the circumstances. People who say they witnessed the fall from the Wawa chair have posted on social media that the woman fell about 12 meters. Police are on the hunt for a sexual assault suspect linked to 2 cases near the Chinook LRT station. Tyson Fedor joins us live. Tyson, police say the incidents are connected.
Well, Hannah, I can tell you that these 2 assaults occurred within minutes of each other about 10 days ago, December 13th to be exact. 2 women were sexually assaulted after getting off the Chinook LRT behind me, and police are now in need of your help to find the suspect. Now, one of the women did report to police that she was approached by a man along 1A Street Southwest at 58th Avenue Southwest around 4:45 in the afternoon when the man grabbed and touched her in a sexual manner. Investigators reviewed CCTV footage and from the area found that a second woman was also assaulted just minutes later, but that woman has not yet come forward to police. Despite reviewing security footage in the area, police have not released a description of the man, what he was wearing, and he remains at large. Nearby transit riders here say they hope the suspect is caught soon, but they still feel safe in the area.
You want to feel safe. Can't go to work all day and you're coming home, you're scared to go your way about. And so if they can't do something about it to protect women and human in general.
That's a really bad thing, and I really hope that they can catch the perpetrator very fast so women feel more safe to be able to go and come.
Now, police are reminding anyone who believes they are a victim of sexual assault to come forward and report it to police, regardless of when it occurred. Anyone with information on these 2 incidents is asked to call police or Crime Stoppers. Hannah?
Tyson, thank you. Police are searching for a driver following a hit and run early last month. On November 4th, a 31-year-old woman and a 52-year-old woman were walking in a marked crosswalk along James McKevitt Road Southwest when they were hit by a gray SUV believed to be a 2021 to 2023 Dodge Durango. The driver fled the scene. Both women were taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police say the SUV may have damage to the front driver's side wheel well and grille. If you have information, call police or Crime Stoppers. And an SUV smashed into a Northwest Calgary dental office this morning. It happened just before 7 on Panatella Boulevard. The fire department's heavy rescue unit was called in to shore up the front of the building. The status of the driver is unknown, along with the cause of the crash. Police have charged a man in connection to 2 recent arsons. The first one happened in November at Bridget Bar along 10th Avenue in the Southwest. There was significant damage to the kitchen, dining areas, and a washroom. Last week, a fire started a few blocks away at Salt and Brick Restaurant. Police released surveillance photos of the suspect. 34-year-old Alden Crowchild is facing a number of charges, including 2 counts of arson. A fire in Sutinaf Nation has destroyed a home and shaken a community. The fire broke out around 3:30 a.m. Saturday, reducing the house to rubble. 5 people living there were not home at the time. While everyone has been able to find a place to stay, they're now just starting from scratch just days before Christmas.
Ask for help for her. You know, like I said, it was pretty devastating for the community.
A fundraiser has been set up for those affected by the fire. You can find the link to it on our website. The cause of this fire is still under investigation. The busy holiday travel season has arrived at Calgary International Airport. Almost 1.5 million travelers are expected to pass through the airport this month. Tyler Barrow has valuable information for those who have somewhere to go.
As Santa starts to pack his sleigh, people are packing their bags to get home for the holiday season.
We're going to leave today on the 22nd and we're going to arrive home on Christmas Eve morning.
They're going back to New Zealand, but for one traveler heading to Brandon to see family, he is much more excited.
One road time, girl. Send me a kiss by wife.
He was supposed to fly on Sunday, but forgot his ID at home in Lacombe.
Got here, and then I looked at my wallet, and my driver license was gone. I had left it at home, couldn't get back at it, so they actually rebooked me for free.
The airport is expecting almost 50,000 travelers a day who will have their IDs, making it one of the busiest times of the year.
Airports will be busy no matter where you're leaving from or arriving to.
Forbes wants to remind travelers to check their flights right up until departure and arrive early.
make sure that you don't wrap your gifts.
Domestic travelers at YYC will notice a difference heading through the security screening. 3 checkpoints have been consolidated into one centralized location. The area features enhanced screening technology, allowing travelers to keep electronics in their bags, along with permitted liquids.
What we're seeing is people are going through security within 50% of the time that they used to take at other points.
Travelers crossing the domestic terminal likely aren't catching a connecting flight to the U.S. In October, according to new data from StatsCan, the number of Canadians returning on trips from the U.S. was down more than 26% year over year. One category on the rise, trips to Canada by U.S. residents, which have increased for the first time in 8 months. Tyler Barrows, CTV News, Calgary.
A man who spent much of his adult life living in Calgary has completed a rare cross-Canada trifecta. Trevor Redmond, known as the Fellow in Yellow, has completed a run across Canada from Halifax to Vancouver. The 54-year-old did the run to promote courage and encourage people to get healthy. 18 years ago, he also walked across the country, and in 2009, he cycled across our nation, giving him the distinction of accomplishing 3 different nationwide human-powered journeys. An Alberta dog has died after testing positive for avian flu. It's the first case like it in Alberta. Coming up after the break, we'll tell you how to keep your pet safe from the viral infection. Alberta officials have confirmed a rare and fatal case of avian influenza in a dog. It's only the second such case in Canada. The virus is most commonly found in wild birds, but has infected dozens of domestic avian flocks and can occasionally infect mammals, including pets. Mason Despatie reports.
It's all happy barks and wagging tails at Petfinity Indoor Dog Park. While the dogs stay warm indoors, owners say when playing outdoors, they always keep a close eye on them.
We do watch him, where he goes and stuff like that.
They're always on a leash unless we're in a fenced, safe area for sure. So yeah, we always watch our dogs.
A habit that's now more important than ever. Alberta's chief provincial veterinarian issued this memo last week confirming a golden retriever poodle cross in the province died in November after contracting avian flu. The dog did have some other health issues as well, but the case is sparking some concern.
When it infects people, leads to about a 50% case fatality rate. So one, we don't want to have increased disease severity and deaths in people, but we also don't want to amplify this virus.
In this case, the 10-year-old dog is believed to have been infected after eating a sick snow goose about a week earlier, and then showed up at the vet with vomiting, lethargy, and wouldn't eat. The provincial lab and Canadian Food Inspection Agency then confirmed the virus.
We've seen a large spread of H5N1, which has led to more infections in animals that we typically don't see H5N1 in.
Dogs can contract the virus by scavenging or hunting infected wild birds. The first dog death in Canada came in 2023 when a dog in Ontario chewed on another infected wild goose. Veterinarians also warn raw meat fed to pets can be another source of exposure. Many symptoms can look similar to the flu, but avian influenza can also cause much more serious illness.
Unfortunately, highly pathogenic avian influenza also causes neurological diseases, so seizures, difficulty walking, difficulty with coordination, and it can also cause gastrointestinal signs such as diarrhea or vomiting.
Despite the seriousness of the virus, cases in dogs remain rare, and for most owners here, worry is still low.
My dog is very controlled. I know exactly what she's doing all the time. She's always with me. So for me, not so much.
Mason Despatie, CTV News, Calgary.
Alberta has now surpassed 2,000 confirmed measles cases since the outbreak started this spring. There are 8 new cases since last week's update. 7 are in the North Zone and 1 in the Central Zone. Since March, there's been 2,003 confirmed cases of the measles in Alberta. The best protection against the highly infectious disease is 2 doses of the MMR vaccine. Alberta Health Services says it's collected more than 1,200 toys during its Toys for Tickets campaign. For the past month, those who received a parking ticket at an AHS facility could make a toy donation in lieu of payment. The toys will be delivered across the province to hospital foundations, community partners, and local charities. All right, Jody. Are we getting more snow
Yes.
for Christmas?
Yes.
Okay, that's good news for me. I like the snow on Christmas.
We'll just get it out of the way and just say, yes, we will. Not as much here as in central Alberta, which could complicate travel. But then, of course, the other component is what your temperature is, because it is dangerously cold as we take a look outside with our Skywatch weather camera, and you can see some of that cloud cover. Our temperatures looking at minus 20 right now in Calgary, but feeling more like minus 30. And when we look at what the risk is in terms of your time of exposure to potential wind chill, or pardon me, to frostbite, with wind chill values between minus 28 to minus 39, you have a high risk, or 10 to 30 minutes, depending on how long you are outside with these various wind chill values. As far as when we're going to see the worst of it, well, we're actually going to experience a bit of a warm-up temporarily, which seems hopeful as we head into Christmas, but we're not holding on to it. I want you to watch the contour, because this is where we'll really start to see a difference with our values and that warmer air moving in from the south. We get a bit of a bump with a ridge of high pressure hitting into southern Alberta, and then it will extend up into, or attempt to extend up into, the more central regions. However, that polar vortex, that colder air, is very dominant, and so we are not going to be seeing that warmer air sticking around. We have extreme cold warnings, yellow level extreme cold warnings, that have been issued across most of Alberta, into Saskatchewan, Manitoba, BC, into the territories as well. And then north of Calgary, we're looking at a special weather statement as well, just because of the amount of moisture that's heading into our region. So not only will it be cold, we'll be meeting up with that Pacific system, and that will be bringing some very dense amounts, or some very high accumulations, 10 to 20 centimeters potentially, as we head into Christmas, and that colder air sinks down and meets up with that precipitation. But you wouldn't know it in terms of the precip just yet. You can certainly see it, though, with those very tight isobars closer to the foothills. Tomorrow's daytime high, what a difference. -5 here, 3 degrees in Lethbridge, and then looking at 0 in Medicine Hat. But with regards to that moisture, here's what I was talking about. So you'll start to see it initially late Tuesday, early Wednesday, into the southeast corner of BC and into the southwest corner of Alberta, before it really takes hold, and we have this large area covered by precipitation that will be extending throughout most of our central and north central regions, and then carrying through into Saskatchewan for Thursday. Temperature wise, very inconsistent. -17 today, -5 for tomorrow, and then -17 again as we head into the Christmas season, back to positive temperatures, or plus temperatures, for the weekend. That overnight value of -22 for tonight will take us into some wind chill values that will feel like -30, and then you're going to certainly notice that those overnight values are into the -20s once again.
All right. Thank you, Jody. We will take a break, but when we come back, the Retail Council of Canada is sounding the alarm about the increase in circulation of fake money. Stay with us. History shows the year-end period is usually a strong one for stocks, regardless of how they performed earlier in December. Joining us is Rob Geary, investment advisor with the Popowich Carmeli Advisory Group. Rob, the TSX is in a Santa Claus rally.
Yeah, this is, I don't know if everyone expected this, but today it was the start of what they call the Santa Claus rally into the last few trading days of the year, and hit 32,000. That is an all-time high for the TSX. And the TSX itself got a couple presents here from a few contributors, and that was on the back of good energy prices, up $1.33 on WTI. We also had gold hitting all-time highs, so you had the precious metals and energy boosting, and that's what a huge proponent of the TSX. So we'll have to see how the last 5 trading days play out here, but it's looking like a good one for Santa Claus.
And Paramount boosts its bid for Warner Bros.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. This is all over a content war for Warner Brothers, and this is on the back of them already signing a deal with Netflix. So Paramount's wanting that content for themselves, and so they've sweetened the deal, coming back and saying that Larry Ellison, one of the world's richest men, is now backing that with personal equity on the back of his son, who runs Paramount Skydance, to kind of sweeten that deal. And they're pushing this all to share shareholders of Warner Bros. To decide this later in January. So this is up for a fight, and the shareholders are going to be looking at what the best value is. And right now the dollar is sitting in Paramount's hands, so we'll have to see how this plays out.
Okay, thanks, Rob.
Yeah, appreciate it.
The Retail Council of Canada says there's been an alarming rise in the circulation of fake $20, $50, and $100 bills. The council says in the past month alone, its members have reported more fake bills than the entire previous year. They say counterfeits have become so good they are almost impossible to detect, especially during the holidays when retailers are busy and in a rush. They believe they are being printed by organized crime and are calling on the government and police to do more to stop it. Canadian businesses lose close to $9 billion per year to theft and fraud. Red Deer RCMP arrested 29 people during a retail crime blitz earlier this month. Police say they spent 3 days cracking down on shoplifting. Many of the arrests happened at retail giants like Home Depot and Winners. All right, taking a look at outside right now in Calgary, it is very cold. Jody will be back with the details after the break. Jody, we're in for a big warm-up, but it ain't going to last long.
I know. It'd be nice if you could just stop right there. Like, in for a bit. Oh, and we're out of time. But we are, yes, we are definitely looking at that warm-up and then another decline in temperatures. You can already tell right now, -20. It feels like -30. It's a bit of an adjustment if you are spending some time outside. And then the next 24 hours, we'll continue to see those temperature and wind chill values similar. But once we start to get into the morning, we'll have a bit of a push. So some warmer air moving into southern Alberta. Part of the province will see plus temperatures tomorrow, while the rest still dealing with that snowfall that's incoming and extreme cold. It's dangerously cold. We'll talk more about that later on tonight.
Okay, thank you, Jody. Thousands of kids are getting a gift for Christmas thanks to an annual fundraiser by Calgary firefighters. The Calgary Firefighters Toy Association connects with both the public and Catholic school boards and the Salvation Army to find families in need. This year, 1,600 families took part, with more than 4,000 gifts being handed out.
We see so many different families experiencing their worst days, and this is a great opportunity to give back and help those that are less fortunate, to bring some Christmas joy. And it's great for our members to be able to connect with the community in a different way outside of emergencies.
Along with the gift from Santa, there were some snacks, live entertainment, and face painting. The Firefighter Association has been running the campaign since 1940. All right, thank you so much for your company tonight. Now here is the early edition of the CTV National News.